G'day folks, Andy here from McDowall Manor. I thought today I'd share an arcane secret with you all. About once, I don't test my water in my aquaponics very often. I do it about once every 6 months just to make sure there's nothing funny happening that I don't know about. Obviously if I have a fish die or something, then I normally fly into a bit of a panic and I'll test like crazy for a little while. That's really never happened. So yeah, I tend to do this only about once every 6 months, and I thought I'd show you how it's done. So those little test tubes in the front here, I'm going to take them and dip them in, get a water sample up to the line. So we'll do that. So we've got our water samples. I'm going to start with the standard pH. Now there's actually 2 pH tests that they give you in this particular kit anyway. So if the pH comes up ridiculously high, what you do is you go to the other bottle, which is the high range, and you do another sample using that different solution. It'll tell you exactly where you get to. So this is a nice easy one, this first one. We just add 3 drops of that to one of the water samples, give it a bit of a shake and let it sit. So you can see that's already as blue as a blue thing, which is telling me my pH is way up. So I will do another one with the high range test. The high range one is another one that you only need to use one of the solution bottles. This one's 5 drops, so we'll put that in, have a look. So there that is after 20 or 30 seconds. I'm really guessing that's probably close to 7.4, 7.5. So it's not horrendous, but it's probably not as good as it was. In fact, I'd probably say it's almost exactly 7.6, because that ties the blue in, which came up to 7.6, and the reading we're getting here, so that's good. Now in terms of fish, the jades will operate, I reckon, and this will probably start a big fight, the jades tend to operate best at neutral, so about 7. So we're a little high for the jades. Now most of the plants operate round about in the mid-6 range. So a lot of people tend to run a little bit under the 7 just to keep the plants going nicely. You can do that if you want, or you can take the Andy approach, which is, I try not to worry about it unless it's gone off the scale. Now I've got some neutralizer that'll neutralize the pH, so it looks like I'll probably do that to bring it back down to a comfortable level for the fish. Whoa, it's windy. Hopefully I'm trying to get you out the wind a bit. It's blowing a gale out there. The ammonia test is a little more complicated. It's 8 drops each of both solutions. Well, you know, it's not that hard, let's face it. Now ammonia becomes nitrite, becomes nitrate. I worry about each of those things probably the most, because they're what's going to kill your fish. So you can see the ammonia's come up somewhere up the minimal end of the scale. It's probably the 0.25, which I'm very happy about. That shouldn't be causing the fish any grief. That's the front end, so that means I'm probably not overfeeding too much. Always a bit of a worry in winter because they don't eat much in winter, so you've got to cut your food way back. I'm going to skip nitrite and go straight to nitrate. It's another 2-bottle solution. You add 10 of each, so we'll do that. So the reason I've gone straight to the nitrate instead of the nitrite, ammonia, remember, is the front end, so that's your recently rotted food. Nitrate is the back end, which is, you know, you crap in your grow bed normally. So my theory is, and maybe don't rely on this theory, but my theory is if I got no ammonia and I got no nitrate, then the chances are I'll have no nitrite. But we'll just see how this reading goes. If I get a bit high, I'll also check the nitrite, because it'll help me sort of work out what's happening. Okay, so that's pretty good. In fact, you couldn't get better. That's 0 parts per million. So I may be slightly overfeeding at the front because it's cold, but not enough certainly that you worry about it. It's almost non-existent. and cleaning out that bed, that grow bed that time, has obviously paid dividends in terms of the nitrate. Given that those two are so good, I'm not even going to bother with nitrite. The thing I will do though is use this neutraliser to make sure I bring down the pH, because that's a little bit too high. So that neutraliser, the pH neutraliser, it's 1 teaspoon for 80 litres. Mine's an 800 litre tank, so that means I'll need 10 teaspoons. I'll put that in a watering can with the water from my rainwater tanks. That way it's not chlorinated. I suspect though that's where the higher pH is coming from, to be honest with you, probably for something to do with the roof. But anyway, so we'll mix that up and pour it in. I'm not going to show you that because it's too long and boring. And it's me pouring a bloody bucket of water into a fish tank, for goodness sake. Alright, well hopefully this has been helpful to you. Hopefully it sort of demystifies how some of that nitrogen cycle works through the water. And hopefully you've got some use out of it. Have a good one, folks. See ya.